Federal lawmakers in the Senate are polarized over a bill that seeks to legislate against open grazing in Nigeria. The bill also seeks to establish a National Animal Husbandry and Ranchers Commission as the only solution to end perennial clashes between farmers and herders in Nigeria. It has passed a second reading at the Senate but has met stiff opposition from some sectors. I'm joined by Baba Othman-Ngelzarma, the national president of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. Good to see you and thanks for your time. We're back again to this conversation. It still hasn't gone away. I think the best place to start would be, why do you think we're still stuck with this conversation, the debate of open grazing, ranching, and all whatnot?
Well, thank you for having me. You see, this is an issue that has been deliberated for quite some time. It's an issue that has brought about a lot of debate, misconception, misunderstanding, because a lot of people don't know much about the pastoralists, the type of pastoralists we have in the country. We have a population of pastoralists who are not educated, who are still practicing the primitive system of animal husbandry they inherited, because there was no attempt by the first succeeding administrations to try to train them, transform them, modernize the system of animal husbandry, transform the system of animal husbandry into the modernized one that is being practiced in the world today. And in practicing what they are doing, there are a lot of things that the public don't know. Because, as I said, they are not educated. They still practice the outdated system where they give a lot of reference to quantity more than quality, because your importance in the society you live is determined by the number of the cows you have. So the more cows you have, the more important you are in the society you live. And also they are practicing the only thing they know as a solution, roaming the world looking for free pasture. And we know with the growing population, with the effects of climate change and what have you, things like this will not be sustained for long, even in the northern part of the country. We know very well. But then there are grazing reserves, over about 400 of them, covering an area of over 6 million hectares of land. They are there in the northern.
Baba Othman, we'll come back to grazing reserves. Don't you think that when you speak of lack of education for some of these pastoralists, that is you and I, should be blamed if, as an educated, cattle breeder who's seen the best of both worlds, the pastoralist aspect of it, and you now went to school and you now realize that, look, wait a minute, I can even get better breed, less stress, better yield, hybrid. So we haven't done our homework to bring these people to start thinking like us.
Yeah.
So what do you think we should do next before we come back to
above a model of settlement that can suit the peculiarities of these people? You cannot go and bring in an alien model and expect them at their level to embrace it.
An alien model?
An alien model, foreign model, and expect them to embrace it and practice it. It's capital intensive. And a lot of what people don't know, the majority of the pastoralists we have in the country are smallholder farmers, having not 50 herds belonging to the family. About 70 or 80% of them are smallholder farmers, with only maybe about 20% of them who are large farmers that can afford ranching. And ranching is capital intensive, but is that foreign ranching the only model that we have in the world? There are so many models of ranching. We can convert our grazing reserves into community ranches. Fence them.
Have you ever had this conversation with the government or the, you know?
We have been agitating for it for quite some time. We have been agitating for this for years. Convert the grazing reserves into community ranches. We have the more land settlement model that is being practiced by the New Zealanders. It's a model that can suit the peculiarity of the pastoralists we have in the country. Develop the grazing reserves, fence the grazing reserve, provide water and grass, leave them to stay there in their local settings, confine them to that area, for them not to go out and make distraction to people's farmlands. Then provide schools, milk collection centers, and all the livestock value chain.
Like the vet doctors.
Vet services, milk collection, milk processing centers, meat processing centers, markets and schools for them. Confine them in a particular area that you can call either a community ranch or whatever. But they cannot afford the capital incentive intensive system of ranching. For them to buy land, provide their own water and grass, this can come gradually as a process.
And quickly here, just to help us make sense of this, is there any truth in this statement that some of these cows, the cattle we see roaming, some of them are actually owned by some members of the political class, and that is why it becomes so difficult for some of those that you're trying to convert to see a better system to be on your side?
That is part of the public misconception. Those guys that you see looking hungry, emaciated, moving with those cows belong to them. They get them through inheritance. When the parents die, they inherit. They continue to look after them over the years until when the cows multiply into the numbers that you see. So the cows belong to them. They are the 95% owners of the cows in the country. The cow doesn't belong to big men in the cities. The big men have, but not up to 5%.
And
majority of the cows belong to these guys.
Your association has always been there, and I'm happy. Again, thanks for coming. Do you have this conversation with these small-time cattle herders, letting them know what government is planning, what you are also proposing, and see and even gauge their buy-in? Do you all have that kind of conversation with them?
Not only conversation, we have even make it mandatory on our officials to make it practical. We have even started it. Me and people like me who are at the national level, who are educated, we compel ourselves to acquire land and begin to practicalize this a settlement model that the others can see and begin to emulate. But these are things that can come as a process. The problem with this bill that is coming up is about negating them to stay in their states. That is affecting their fundamental human rights as citizens, as human beings, and as citizens of the country. They have rights like any other citizens of the country. Rights of doing their business wherever they want to go and do their business, long as they will do it peacefully without becoming a nuisance to anybody and anybody becoming a nuisance to them. I think the people should respect this, should see them as human beings first, then to see them as citizens of Nigeria who also deserves rights and privileges like any other citizen.
You would agree quickly here if I put this in. You would agree that a lot of people see them as such, but the pain here is getting into someone's farm and destroy it without any kind of compensation.
You say?
I thought the problem here would be, getting into someone's territory, in this case farm, destroying the products without any compensation.
The issue of farm destruction has been there for quite some time. It has been there.
Are you working to see how you can have...
When farming and herding started, these two traits are created to coexist together, to live together. So skirmishes are bound to happen. Cows can stray into people's farm, make destruction. This used to happen for years. But when there was good communication and understanding, the farmer and the herder normally settles in the farm pay for the damage and continue to live together. But today, because of so many things, that communication link is missing. So it's now replaced by suspicion and what have you. That is why we're having this problem we're having today.
I think we need to stay on this and the aspect of conversation which you raised here, that was once upon a time the tradition, must be revisited. We'd like to thank you for your time, Baba Othman-Ngelzarma, National President, Miyetti and Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria. I think I should come be a member of your. Can I be a member of this?
You can. You're welcome.